Former staff members at a Caroline County, Virginia Christian school pled guilty to assault and battery of a teenager on February 14th of this year. Well, it looks like this kid had a really bad Valentine's Day. The school is called the Abundant Life Academy, and it's a boarding school for troubled teens. Their mission is, quote, to equip students and families to live a life of love, acceptance, and forgiveness through modeling and training of biblical principles. But according to what happened to this 14-year-old student, the staff members have pretty much failed at that mission. Now, during this trial, Deputy Commonwealth Attorney Diana Botto showed a portion of a 3-hour video where this teen was seen being made to do push-ups, okay, horse dances, and was thrown to the ground several times by the staff members. Ugh. The victim testified also that after the 3-hour assault, he was awakened every 90 minutes as part of his punishment for, you guessed it, talking to a girl. Talking to a girl on Valentine's Day of all days, and he continues to get punished because that's against the rules. Talking to a girl is against the rules of this place. Whew. What do they do when you just look at a girl? Slap you in the face? According to Judge Gordon Willis, one of the 4 of you could have stopped what occurred, and that's all it would have taken. It amounts to bullying. 4 grown adults bullying a 14-year-old, and you all should be ashamed of yourselves. Now, this isn't the only case of abuse from this place. According to Raw Story, quote, the investigation into abuse at the Christian Center began in April, when 4 teenagers escaped from the facility. When authorities captured them, they claimed that they have fled the facility because of rampant abuse. Now, what kind of abuse? Well, other than what these 4 staff workers were charged with and caught on tape doing, you also had another worker named Liam Galligan who was facing 12 counts of child endangerment for allegedly forcing teen boys to stand in a swamp for long periods of time. Now, the problem with this, and a lot of these therapeutic boarding schools, is that they're privately run by corporations and nonprofit organizations. So it really worries me because they have a lack of oversight. And in this case, this is certainly a case where it's true. They can essentially do what they want and are quote-unquote tough love schools. Well, we saw that action in the video. So what do you guys think about the story, and what do you think we should do to prevent more cases of abuse like this from happening? I'll go with you, Sean.
Yeah, what sticks out to me about this story is the words in it, and I know you asked me what we should do to prevent abuse like this from happening, but the words that they use about the kids who escaped from the boarding school, like, I realize it's supposed to be a disciplinary environment, but it's not supposed to be a prison, and it sounds like these are like prison guards beating on like mates. Like, you get what I'm saying? You got that sense from reading it, right, Jeff?
Yeah, and actually, that's what these tough love schools are at. You can't just. The whole point is you have to adjust because you can't escape. They are essentially prisons. They're essentially privatized, since they are run by corporations and nonprofits, and these kids are sealed in there, often with the parents not knowing exactly what's going on and just thinking, well, these are places where my troubled teenager can get help, and what they don't know is that they're locked in there 24/7 and can't do anything about it. And
yeah, what I would say, and I realize that some of these places might theoretically do a good job, but like, don't send your troubled kid anywhere, because the people who want to take in and help troubled kids, sometimes they're great people that. Sometimes they're people who want to victimize children that they don't think anybody will believe. And, like, that's what this seems like. It seems like they picked people that are troubled that, you know, they could easily say, oh, they're making that up or whatever. And they had them locked up, and they did horrible things to them. So, don't send your kids anywhere. Like, if they're assholes, like, be old-fashioned like Adrian Peterson and take care of them yourselves.
Oh, because that's a brilliant idea, Sean. Just be old-fashioned like Adrian Peterson and beat them. that works out for me. Oh my God. Can I chime in on this a little bit? I have a little experience.
I'm gonna go to you next, actually.
Okay, I'm sorry. I I have a little experience with this. I don't know if you know my background, Jeff. I don't know if we talked about this on the show before. But I went to an all-boys Catholic boarding school. Like all-boys strict Catholic boarding school. The whole selling point was, we're going to take your rich kid and fix them. And what they do is they drum a routine. Now, mine was not nearly as bad as this. So by any means, it's not this bad. But what their selling feature is, we're going to do what you can't do, because whether you can't do it because you don't want to do it, you don't have the time to do it, or you've tried everything, and that's what they sell it as. And that's the worst kind of sales pitch, because they expect results, and it's not even parents not wanting to know. It's parents thinking, okay, I'm doing something good for my kid because they're troubled, and I voluntarily went there because I wanted out of my particular school. This is what my case is totally different. Mm-hmm. I actually voluntarily went there because I wanted to get out of my house and I wanted to be on my own. So I felt this was an out for me. So I went on my own, where other kids there that I met were rich, spoiled brats. So you have to keep that in context of the situation. Now, I'm not saying there weren't. I'm not blaming the victim. But as someone who was in this type of situation, I think I know it a little bit most out of everybody. As for these particular cases, they sound more like Gitmo than an actual school. And that's scary. And these are the same people who scream religious freedom and no regulation. And that should terrify you.